Greetings, everybody. Happy new moon. The new moon is going to be tonight, and actually the highest point of the new moon, the exact new moon is going to be at 3:45 p.m. Saturday, Pacific time. And so it's really interesting to understand the energy of this new moon. It's in the constellation, the Vedic constellation Bharani, which during the time that the Vedas were written, about 5,000 to 6,000 years ago, Kritika, or the Pleiades, was where the spring equinox started. And so this constellation is right before that. And so it's really interesting. The Vedic mystics, it's these three stars at the end of Aries forming a triangle, or the cosmic yoni. So enter the yoniverse, right? It's this cosmic portal between life and death. And so it's they gave it rulership over Lord Yama, who is the Lord of death, ultimately. And so it's about this restriction. You know, it's almost like we go into this portal, so to speak, at death, and then we're put into this restriction and compression to then go into our next life. And so really this is a lot of times known as the star of restraint. And so it's also Bharani is associated with like literally bearing children. So it's like this discipline, right? And so ultimately what's really incredible about what initiates this whole month-long cycle is it's all about removing things, right? Letting things go that aren't a part of your higher path, your higher purpose, or your dharma. Bharani, or excuse me, Yama is also known as the Lord of Dharma in that way, you know. And so this is really an incredible phase to only, really focus on narrowing in on what your purpose is. And so I'm really excited about this because this is why I do what I do. I love helping people align with their unique purpose and with their dharma so that they can live from that passion, live from that essence self. And so with that restriction, it's doing some kind of daily practice, some kind of discipline, right? And putting yourself under that pressure in order to create the diamond, right? That bright, shiny jewel that you are. And, having that daily discipline, having something that will pressurize you to produce, this beautiful thing. And so what is that daily practice for you? I am super passionate about Kundalini yoga as well. And I like to help people find the specific practice or even the specific mantra or meditation that works just for them, this like pinpointed thing that's going to activate your dharma and your chart and your life ultimately. And so what's great about this is that May is the cosmic energy, the astral energy is going to start getting really intense, like around May 2nd. And so, May 7th. And so here's the moon, the new moon here. We have Mercury finally entering Aries. And so what's going to happen is Mars is going to come over here May 7th, joining the North Node, which is like the Chuck Norris Arnold Schwarzenegger combination. It's like this big explosive energy. Directly opposite this Saturn and Ketu. So it's like we have all of these difficult planets opposing each other. And it's creating some sort of stress, some kind of stress in your life. So this goes all the way from May 7th all the way through June and is exact towards more the end of June. So we're going to have Mars coming up here and like creating, basically this rush hour traffic. This like, I want it now and give it to me now. And then this like yogi restriction austere preventing that. And so depending on a detailed analysis of your chart, you can know exactly what areas of life this stress is happening. And so here's a cool like anime picture of Yama, and it really describes almost like Mars opposing Saturn here, and having that discipline and that steadfastness. He rides on a buffalo. So it's almost like that Taurus energy of that discipline and one foot after the other. And so I just like this picture. Maybe a lot of us will have experienced this with tech issues. And so, yeah, some sort of stress is going to be happening. And so it's good to know what area of life that is in, what areas of life, so you can better strategize and know your next steps with a Vedic astrology reading. And you can schedule with the link above or the link in my bio. And so today we're going to have Indigo on, and we're going to have her chart interpreted. So let me go ahead and pull her up on Skype here and give her a call. And then we're going to see, what areas of life are going to be affected for her, and also just answer all of her general questions. And you can get your chart read live by joining my Facebook group. And here's the link right here, which should be coming through. Yay. All right. Well, welcome.
Hello.
Hi. Can you hear me okay?
Hi. I can.
Great.
Hello.
Hello. Yay. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. My honor. So while I get your chart set up, why don't you tell me and tell everybody like what inspired you to want to talk to me today?
Am I supposed to be able to see you? No.
Let's see. You. Well, you can hear me though, right?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Let me try to arrange that for you.
Okay. So I'm very interested in Ayurvedic medicine, and I've had a few Vedic readings, but they were kind of hard for me to understand. So I'm hoping you have a different perspective.
Yeah,
for me.
I really translate it. Like I'm super steeped in the technical Vedic stuff, but I really like to translate it for people
in English.
in English rather than even astrology is complicated.
It is. I haven't studied it, so I don't know.
Yeah.
The terms.
Yeah, even like Vedic people, they're like, hey, Vedic people don't have the symbols of the planets. That's Western. It's like, come on. Anyways.
So Vedic doesn't use symbols?
I mean, people are just trying to be like super Vedic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't.
Anyways, it's just like, I'm just trying to help people. And however that's going to happen, that's what I want to happen. So, cool. All right. So studying medicine. And so let's, for the astrologers out there, let me go ahead and reveal your chart here. And that's me on the Skype.
I wish I could see what was happening.
Oh. Yeah. Well, if you pull up your... Well, it's okay. Do you have... you could have your Facebook Live up. Or my...
Okay.
Yeah, that's the way to do it.
Let me try.
Okay. But then that's going to take away...
Then I can't see... You can't see me, huh?
Yeah. It's okay.
Can you see me?
No. But it's okay. I want you to be able to see.
Okay. I wanted to be able to see what people were saying and stuff, but I guess I can't do both. So
okay.
Well,
you could look at it.
How that works.
Yeah, you could look at it after the fact.
Okay.
And see what everybody saw.
That's fine.
Cool. So right now I'm just showing your chart, and on the image that I use, just to give all the planet, the nakshatras, which are the Vedic constellations, and also the timing cycles. And so basically, you are, since 2014, you started this Jupiter karma, this Jupiter cycle. And so I'm just curious, was there any significant change that happened for you around 2014, 13 to 15? Any kind of like, whoa, any kind of betterment of life and such? Just because a lot of times people can experience that between a Rahu cycle and the Jupiter cycle.
It was a little bit. Uh, I've been dealing with chronic illness for almost 2 decades.
Uh-huh.
And I'd say during 2013 and 14 was a little bit easier.
Yeah.
But other
Yeah.
than that, nothing like, I mean, I had a lot of ahas and revelations because I felt like I was dying, but you see a lot of you get a lot of things, I think, when you feel like you're ending your life.
Yeah. And it's interesting that that's where the new moon is, it's in this place of the end, right?
Mm,
So synchronistic for that. But yeah, it
hmm
allows you to be like, okay, what really matters in life?
hmm
All right. And so that's really what this whole new moon is about for everybody globally. It's like removing things that don't belong, and bringing in things that are only part of your highest dharma and path. So for you, it's definitely this alternative medicine, right?
hmm
You kind of had to do that. A lot of people experience a healing crisis, and it brings them to this higher state, right?
hmm
Uh,
Yes,
I
exactly.
think I've said this
I've
before,
I've had many, many of those.
right? Yeah. And so what's interesting about your chart, just to see this here, you have 3 planets in the 12th house, which is the very last area of life. And so it's that kind of like sight of God, or like of the divine of the other side, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so you started this Rahu cycle, the North Node, which is also in the 12th house, around 1996. And then you also have Jupiter in the 12th house with the Rahu. And so you started the Rahu Jupiter cycle from 99 till 2001, right? And so that's when it started, right? We've talked about this before.
hmm
And so now that you're in the Jupiter cycle, it's always like, oh, like the planet of light, so you can see, you have more of a way out. But gosh, yeah, like 18 years of the North Node. And that's how long that
hmm
cycle lasts.
hmm
So now you're in
Oh,
Jupiter.
interesting.
Yeah. And Rahu is an eclipse energy, right? So it's an indicator of like an unknown, hard to pin down illnesses and such. Um,
Yeah, because it's been about 18 years to where I've had extreme like pain and not knowing what was wrong
yeah,
going on.
yeah.
Um,
Um,
so,
was 2016 to 18 a little bit harder period, or?
um, yes, it was very hard.
Yeah, because you're still in this Jupiter cycle, but the sub cycle of Saturn during that phase right here. And you have Saturn in the first house, which would create more of that kind of harder, more like that chronic illness thing. But now you're in Mercury, and it started at the very end of 2018. So usually after, from Saturn to Mercury, there's a lot more like hope and movement with things.
hmm
And so, yeah. And you have Mercury in this place of Uttara Ashada, which is associated with the all the gods ultimately, the Vishwadevas, but it's come to be associated with Ganesha in a way, where of like removing obstacles, right? So you're in a more powerful cycle of like, all right, let's figure this out. Let's do this and do my creative dharma and education as well. The fifth house is associated with that. And so it brings in a more powerful part of your chart, like that core of your career as well. Mercury rules your 10th house of career. And so it's like, all right, what is my creative passion? Right. So that's what's going on. And this cycle goes until April 2021. So still quite a
Of
ways.
figuring out what my creative passion is.
Well, now is almost, no, more like doing the creative passion, doing your
Okay.
creative, like how you create in the world, your dharma in that way. And so, so your question is, you're thinking about Ayurveda, and what else?
Also just studying herbology and just like North American herbs, keeping it a little more generalized to help more people. Not as many people understand or know about Ayurveda, which
Yeah,
might be fun to teach, but I still need to learn more. So,
right.
um,
Yeah, cool.
and I just haven't been in a place to retain information because I've had migraines and headaches constantly and
Hmm.
pain, and it's really hard to be able to study. So I'm also nervous. I want to be very clear and healthy before I start something like that.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
As I don't want to stress myself out too much to where I'll spiral down again.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah. Well, it's so what's your question ultimately?
well, I'm just not sure when I should try and go for
Ah.
those passions. I mean, I'm also very creative and artistic and love to draw and paint too. So those would be more of my more other passions that I'm not sure which direction to go in first.
Hmm. Yeah. Well, so looking at this, um, really, I think it's just about saturating yourself with the teachings of
Mhm.
of the herbology and all the different healing ways, all the time, right?
I
It's
kind of feel like I've been doing that,
right,
but
right,
haven't been able to retain as much as I wanted because of the physical challenges.
yeah.
So,
Well, and so uh, I think just getting started, like moving forward into deciding what it is the program you want to do,
hmm
is just the first step, because you're in a really, this is one of the best phases for you to do that, to really define what your creative dharma is and to be doing it. And so this is a safer period in that way. Now, there is going to be more stress in general, like I was saying, starting this month, June and July. So potentially after the eclipses, which is like mid July, that would be a better time to plant some seeds and start really moving forward in that way.
hmm
Yeah. Um, and
So, does my chart say anything about my health and like a period of ending, possibly, like being
yeah, um,
freedom?
right. And so uh, there, this, well, this would be one of the main phases for it. But I'm seeing here there's in 2021, there's this south node of the moon phase that is in the sixth house of health. And so this could be like a real like refinement of which healing way you're gonna receive. And also Venus is the planet of your advisors and teachers. And so it's almost like finding the solution in your healing path during that phase. And I'm not saying it's not going to happen right now, but it looks like there's this real kind of narrowing it down and refinement period from 2021 to 2022. And then almost like living it and teaching it and expressing it from 2022 all the way to the end of 2024. And so, yeah, it looks like with what you're doing right now and finding and like doing your passion, you know, how you want to create in the world, what your creative path is, what your education is. It's almost like then you go to this point around spring of 2021 and find that real, almost like underneath of what the whole issue has been the whole time, you know, like finding like a really unique teaching, right? And so what I think right now is just about just picking something, even if it's maybe in the end not the right one, to just start moving forward in that education stream, you know?
Right.
Yeah. And so, yeah, the school of Ayurveda up here where I live is pretty incredible. And also we have tons of people that are innovating the basic teachings of Ayurveda. And so I can introduce you to a whole bunch of people.
Yeah, that would be cool because I've actually, I've told you, been looking at the College of Ayurveda for about 10 years.
Yeah.
Trying to just work on full-time healing so that I can make that happen somehow.
Yeah. And are you in a community of support? I mean, for that, in a good place for that?
Just recently. So I think that's why I'm starting to feel physically better. I haven't had support pretty much this whole time. So
Oh, good.
the whole time of my health problems. So
Yeah.
I don't know if it says anything about my blood family in my chart, but yeah, they've been very cruel. So
Yeah. Yeah.
they haven't been there.
Yeah. So the fourth house is the mother, and we have, you know, the mother in the 12th house, which is like kind of behind the seams, absent, and just with the Mars, so kind of intense in that Mars Rahu. Yeah, so it shows it right there. And then also the father just being kind of more critical with, yeah. And so, so yeah, it's like finding your spiritual family, right? So
Yes.
where do you live right now?
I'm in Spokane, Washington.
Okay, cool.
So I'm a little ways away from where I would like to be, but there's a good community here. I've been trying to get the energy to get out more and do ecstatic dance and be more involved in other like-minded individuals. So it's just taken me a long time, and then the cold weather, I've been kind of hibernating. So
yeah, I get that.
it's starting to get warm and nice out. So
yeah,
hopefully,
well, I think
that will help.
Yeah, I think your best bet is to just be with all the like really advanced like wizards and medicine people, you know. And where I live, it's just like wizard country. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, I really vibe with Grass Valley, and I'm a big water person. I was just living in Hawaii the last 7 years.
That's great.
So I really love the river there.
Hmm. Yeah.
It's just so beautiful.
Yeah.
So I would be close to water, which I'm not really here up here.
Yeah.
So
Well,
we'll
I
see.
think that's your best bet is to be around the most supportive community as you can. And yeah, I can connect you with people that have broken through limes as well
Hmm.
around here. And
Yeah, I know there's a large group. I actually went there for bee venom treatment, and
yeah, and I have another friend as well, like I was saying, that just got her is going to do that as well.
hmm
And so, I mean, there's all sorts of people up here doing the things. So
hmm
I think that's your best
right.
bet. And so even more important than finding out like what you're going to study, it's like who is going to be around to support you.
Yeah, I've been looking for that, and I could not find that really in Hawaii. I'm
Yeah.
starting to sort of find it here where I am. Maybe it's just the timing of everything. But I had a real hard time finding that community in Hawaii, which so I'm been looking for a good tribe.
Yeah. So yeah, I would say just as soon as you can, you should just come over to my neck of the woods and revel in all the different healing ways that's available uh,
Hmm.
here.
Do we have time for another question,
Yeah,
like
sure,
about like about my own personal family, like a relationship, and
sure.
if it's in my chart, like to have children, because I'm kind of getting up there, and so.
Yeah. Um, let's see. Uh, it's an interesting question, but this phase right now would be the one most related to children, just as like Mercury being in the fifth house, which is all about children.
Hmm.
And so, uh, but yeah, ultimately it's uh, gonna come through the same answer of being around enough like-minded community and such.
So I can actually meet somebody.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's like a two-step process. It's like kids. Okay, well, you can do, you know, uh, artificial, so to speak, but that's always an option. I've had clients who have done that.
Yeah, but I want a partner. I want somebody
Yeah,
to do it with me.
totally.
You know?
Yeah. Well,
I love being independent, and it's been hard with the Lyme, but having that team would just be a dream come true for me.
yeah. Well,
So,
I think that's the biggest thing is just being around, yeah, the like-minded people and such more. And there's tons of all this like freaky people around here.
it's a smaller community up here,
Yeah,
so it's a little more challenging.
yeah,
Not really my vibe
hmm
so much.
um,
I'm right next to Idaho, so
yeah,
it's just
right.
different.
Uh, well, so this will be the best phase for it ultimately. Um, you're gonna have Mercury subcycle here. Oops, and
You say this phase, so you mean until 2021
correct.
or after? Okay.
Now
Until then,
now until like spring
2021.
2021.
Okay.
Yeah, that would be your best chance, and it's like biologically too, right? Yeah. So it's just it's the kind of highest possibility for that karma is fruiting right now. Um,
Yeah. I
so
feel like I still need some more physical healing though before.
exactly.
before that I was
So
gonna
it's like,
be able
okay,
to manifest.
yeah, okay, let's like get to community that is going to support that with all the different healing ways, and
Hmm.
then get to that place of like, oh, uh, you know, then finding a partnership, then having the kid, you know, right?
And a career and all those things that I want that I haven't got to do yet.
Yeah, yeah, but I think just again and again, just the supportive community is the way.
So during this 18 years, like, I mean, I've been learning so much about myself and about what kind of um, healer or a helper I want to become myself because I've been to so many doctors and
Yeah,
met so many that I didn't like. So I know what kind of doctor I don't want to be like.
hmm, yeah, right,
um, and I feel like I've learned so much compassion during
yeah,
this time of so much challenge
hmm,
um, that will help me become a really good healer.
yeah.
So
Most definitely. And if anybody out there is listening, I know I have a few friends, like I was saying, that have found the solution to Lyme's. So please contact me or contact her if you can offer that support for her.
thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and May is Lyme Awareness Month, so
Oh, no way.
yay.
Hooray. Perfect. Right on.
So yeah, I think those were my main questions.
Okay.
Um,
Cool. Well,
is there, I don't know if it's similar to, because in Western astrology I have quite a bit of water in my chart, and I was wondering if it's the same with Vedic, like how does that like
um,
work?
well, the way it works is astrology is divination, ultimately, like tarot cards, but it's just a little bit more, a lot more. It could be a lot more accurate. Um,
Hmm.
and so the Vedic system is based on more closer to astronomy, and
Hmm.
um, and so yeah, you don't have any water signs stimulated.
Hmm.
You're like a Virgo rising, which is Earth, and then you have
Hmm.
Sun, Moon, and Mercury in Earth. So you're like triple Earth, right? But what is watery is even though you have Jupiter, Mars, and the North Node in Leo, which is fire, it's in the 12th house, which is like a Pisces kind of energy, right?
I feel so much better. Like when I was living in Hawaii, I just like the ocean. Well, I mean any nature, but the ocean really has my heart. So
Yeah, yeah, right. Uh, well, maybe that like the Earth just element that you have is the more of the dryness, right?
hmm.
In your constitution, especially with Saturn in the first house, it's gonna dry things up a bit. So maybe the water is what balances all the dry earth.
Now, does Vedic astrology go like, does it tell me what my constitutions are? Like, I mean, I
Yeah,
kind of know, but
it gives your more of like what your deeper prakriti is,
okay.
but ultimately it's almost like just go to Ayurvedic. It's the astrology confirms it, but and you might be able to see more underlying qualities within
Hmm.
the doshas, but ultimately it's Ayurveda, like getting your pulse read. That's the answer.
Yeah, I've been told that I'm pretty much like Pitta Vata, like even, like, so.
Yeah. Well, that
I
the
always wondered because I've been so off balance with this illness, is that my real like constitution or
I
is
see.
it like,
Yeah.
because I'm so off, like.
Well, the Saturn is definitely causes that Vata quality in the first house.
Hmm.
So we're gonna look at planets in the first house, and then uh, and then the pitta, that that's all this fire here with the Leo energy. And so yeah, but yeah, I'm seeing more of that vata quality as well. And so
I always thought I was kind of more vata, but just fiery because of these health problems.
yeah, right. Well, really, since like 9 years old to 16, and 16 to 34, and 34 to 50 are all running this, Mars, then Rahu, then Jupiter, which are all in fire signs. Right? So the big chunk of your life, like 9 to 50, are, running the karmas of these Leo fiery energies. So
that makes sense.
yeah, but I think the main prakriti would be the vata. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
I wish I could see you.
Okay, you can see it.
I'm just looking at a symbol.
Yeah. Cool. Well, you'll be able to see once you look at the recording.
Okay.
Cool. All right. Well, great. Well, good to have you on. And yeah, wish you best of luck. And yeah, just hit me up and I can help you make connections up here if you plan on moving.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much. It was so wonderful talking to you.
Yeah.
How do you pronounce their name?
Whose name?
Your name.
Oh, Sharu.
Sharu.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sharu.
Okay.
Cool.
Oh yeah, now I know you from Ecstatic Dances.
That's right.
Heard your name.
Yeah, I've been doing ecstatic dance since 2011. Yep.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, many
and
blessings.
I will tell my friends. Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks.
Aloha.
Aloha.